Welcome to the Love and Meaning Podcast, where inner work is a lifestyle. Welcome to the Love and Meaning Podcast. It's Cree, your host, and I have another love episode for you today. This contemplation came to me from the other day when I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And I really thought about the process that I was going through, and it really kind of blew my mind where I went with that. So I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I was just feeling grumpy for no reason. Okay. And I have one of those husbands who is just like made of kindness. Like, he's just a very kind person. He is a very loving and thoughtful person. And I am the lucky one that he really targets all of the love that he has inside of him. Like I get most of it. Like, it's just, he's so kind. And it's easy when you have a person. I shouldn't say when you have, let me not put this onto anybody else. It is easy sometimes for me to take it for granted, the kindness that is coming my way, because it's just so readily available and I wouldn't have it any other way. But I honestly have to pinch myself sometimes to just be like, stop, So I was grumpy for absolutely no reason. I mean, I don't know if it's because I had a bad dream, or I don't know, because I just had woken up, but I felt just meh. And I was in my not self theme. I was in my not self theme as a human design projector, which is bitterness. And he was offering to, good morning. It's a good morning, babe. Tio's already up. Can I make you some coffee? Can I make you a tea? Can I get you anything? And I was just like, no, I didn't want anything. I didn't even know what I wanted, but I know I didn't want anything in that moment. I was still like half in and out of my sleep, but just like not great. And I remember sitting up, like kind of like sitting up in bed, and the game is on, like the TV is on, so because he's getting ready to watch the game. He's making coffee. I just like found things to be annoyed at, like his awakeness and pepness. It's like we switched positions that day, because my husband is not a morning person and I am, and I'm not a night person and he is. And at night he's like and like wants to be like all up in my shit, and I'm like, good night. And in the morning, I'm usually the one who's like all about it. And it's like you can't even actually talk to him properly in the morning. Sunday mornings are different though, because he sleeps in and da da da. And so I don't know, we switched positions this Sunday, and he was all pep and I had no pep. And I just found such easy access to things to be annoyed at. Easy access. Like the smell bothered me. The TV being on, the coffee maker sound, anything. Like just I was finding things to be irritated by. And I was demonstrating that to him through this, my kind of like attitude response to, hey, babe, would you like some coffee? It was kind of just like a nothing response. And I kind of had like a, without using words, kind of like a irk, make a lot of noise in the bed kind of thing to like you going about life and me not being ready for life. And thank goodness that I have a morning routine that involves the very first thing that I do in the morning is something called my self check-in. So before I even get out of bed, sometimes I do get out of bed to do it because especially if my husband is still sleeping, I really do like to do the self check-in in my own energy completely. And I have a lot of I can feel the energy of other people easily. So sometimes if I'm trying to go within myself and have a conversation with myself and he's right there, it can be a little bit energetically distracting. And so he wasn't in bed, so I could just do it in bed. And I go in and I'm having conversation with myself. And the thing that I very quickly realized was when I go into my not self theme, when I go into bitterness, and I am unconscious, if I'm very unconscious and I am not able to be in my higher self, my default reaction will be to find something to match the feeling that I'm feeling in my environment. We all do this. Like, it's not necessarily with the not self theme of bitterness, but in our upset about anything, this is law of attraction stuff. We find stuff, whatever emotional experience that we're having, we find stuff to match the frequency that we're on. From a neurological perspective, that's the reticular activation system's job. It's just part of what our brains are designed to do. And when I'm just operating in like brain the brain processing, like this is what the programming is, not with my higher consciousness, it's not going to be the best. So brain taken over, I'm going to find things to match, even though what I'm feeling is not what I want to feel. And so it's so easy for me to find things to be bothered by. And the click moment that I had there is that my signature, so the feeling, the expression of alignment for me as a projector is success. Your signature is the way that you feel in alignment. It's the sign that you're like, green light, keep going. This is your sign that you're doing well, that things are aligned, that you are you've got the green light to go, energetically speaking. And so having success as the goal in my entire beingness, without my consciousness needing to be present, everything in me is always aiming for success. That's what your signature is. So for me as a projector, I'm aiming for success. But I'm currently experiencing my not self theme, meaning I'm not in alignment. I'm feeling bitterness. I want to be in success. Without using my higher self, my conscious mind, the way that my unconscious self goes about achieving success in a place of bitterness, my default status is nitpick on someone, make someone wrong, make me right. And this is where the click happened. I work and know, and I'm surrounded by a lot of women who are intelligent, who are go-getters, who are big desirers, who make an impact. I'm surrounded by a lot of women who have, at a pretty young age, placed a lot of their value, their personal value, the thing that they can rely upon, myself included, the thing that we could rely upon, the thing that was our default place to go when we're feeling rocky, when we're feeling shaky. A lot of us are educated. We got, not me, but I'm surrounded by a lot of women who like got straight A's in school, prided themselves on being a really great student. And our default place to go when we're feeling rocky or shaky is to rely on our intelligence, is to rely on our logic, and to be right. To be right. And what was demonstrated to me in that moment when I woke up in the morning, literally just woke up, and I was in my not self theme of bitterness for whatever reason, it happens. The very cheap, easily accessible mode to feel success for me was to be right about something. So I was right that you're too loud. I was right that you shouldn't put that there. I was right that whatever it is that you just opened up is making a weird smell. And it was just so easily accessible to me, and I just latched onto it because I wasn't with myself. Why I wanted to bring it up is because I see us doing that a lot. And my realization that a really kind of cheap mode access to feeling better, to giving ourselves some sort of dopamine hit is to be right and to make someone wrong or something wrong. When we could really be focusing our attention and our energy on what is actually aligned with what it is that we want. So for example, in what happened with me, ultimately I want success. I want success in my relationship. I want success in my business. I want success in the way I treat my body and the way I feel. And what actually contributes to success and also contributes to my long-term goal, my mission, my purpose here, what I desire on the planet, is to take an action, use words that would be in alignment with nurturing this relationship. So instead of the cheap feeling of I'm right, it would either be saying yes to that coffee that my husband was offering me or saying, I see that your day is off to a great start. Mine already feels a little bit rough. I'm going to take 10 minutes to zone out a little bit with myself. And then I'll let you know if you can make me a coffee. And thank you. And after I did my check in and after I had this little conversation with myself, that became accessible. And what I actually did was I accepted the coffee. But the point is, it's not about being necessarily being a projector, but it's about these really cheap ways that we go about feeling what we actually want to desire, what we desire to feel in this life, instead of doing the deeper work and choosing our higher level consciousness that is actually good for now and good for later. I want us to no longer be willing to accept the booby prize of being right all the time. It doesn't fucking matter. None of that mattered what I was like so ready to be on that morning. But it does matter that I have an extremely thoughtful and kind husband who takes pride and joy in making me coffee and tea in the morning. And oh, that was the other thing. He's playing music because he loves to like set the he like sets a tone, like a vibe, like a theme for the day. So like he wants me to like wake up to like morning jazz or like folk music or like he literally like that's how he's thinking. Like that's how his brain works. Like he's thinking of like how can I set the perfect mood for my wife to wake up to? It's crazy. It's just he's amazing. He's very that's where he's very artistic in these ways. He doesn't work in the arts. He works in um nothing to do with that. It's actually in cybersecurity, but his art comes in like um aesthetics. So he loves lighting. Like he'll even do the lighting a certain way in the morning using the lamps, and we have the LED so you can so he'll like set the light right and the sound and it's an amazing thing to have a person around that just like thinks like that. And he'll do it for me. And I'm too busy getting a cheap win of being like, pick up your socks. Nailed it. Woo! Like, you get a prize. There's no prize in that. But when I'm not online, when I don't take the minute to come online, or I don't take the minute to just be in my feelings, not bypassing, because that's the bypass. To be feeling down. So let's say I was feeling bitter. The bypass is to go, I'm feeling bad, immediately fix it. I'm not feeling good, make it feel better. That sounds good, right? But when we do that, you can find yourself easily attracted to solutions such as, how can I just be right in this situation? Anybody around to make wrong? You there. You get it. Ha ha, I win. That's what we can do when we don't realize that there is a much richer way to experience feeling better. But it takes willing to not feel better right now. So, the solution was for me to be like, I feel bitter, I don't feel great. And I like to commune with myself. And if you come into any of my containers, whether that's one-on-one or you're in my collective perspective membership, this is something that I teach is the practice of learning to have a conversation with your parts. And your parts are literally anything inside of you, anything that you're experiencing, all the emotions that you're experiencing, except for 8 specific qualities. Everything else. And those 8 specific qualities are calm, curiosity, creativity. It's so hard to remember. I mean, to because they all start with C, so then I get mixed up. Okay, calm, create. I have them always written on my phone. Calm, curiosity, compassion, clarity, confidence, courage, connectedness, and creativity. Anything else outside of that is a part, and you can talk to it. And so I'm feeling bitter. I'm feeling I come up with the funniest names for my parts too. Like I can't like just find an emotion name. I have like my always wants to be shiny part. That only means something to me, but it's a conversation with myself. So just go within the self and just be like, okay, what's going on? What are you feeling? What do you want me to know? What is it that you're trying to tell me? Or what is it that you want me to be aware of? And it was in that conversation where I realized that we needed to feel successful in that moment, but we weren't feeling that way. And so the route that we went was to try to make my husband wrong so that I could be right. But it's not actually my true desire. A much more delicious form of success in that moment is the success with my relationship. And it was just a tiny little switch. And the amazing thing is that it just like passed. The bitterness, it totally passed. Like I got up, I had my coffee, I took the dog for a walk, and like it was gone. But that morning could have gone completely differently without the contemplative aspect of me, without me taking a minute to just feel the bitterness and not need to fix it right away with cheap thrills, with the low hanging fruit solutions, which aren't really solutions, not when it comes to emotions. So, the love lesson here today, because this really, the place where I see this being the most meaningful is in relationships, is I want us to move away from notice first, like notice the truth of this for yourself. Because I know this applies to so many people. Can we move away from our reliance upon the very quick hit of being right? For the women like me, for the people that are drawn to me, it's been working for us for a really long time, but it doesn't actually have much to do with what we truly desire. And it can be such a huge block when it comes to our relationships. And it just takes that little extra step of consciousness. It just takes that little extra step. And if you want to learn tools, I have tools. It just took a short conversation for me going within, taking a pause, 1, 2, go within, 3, feel, 4, from this intentional place, make an informed decision, take an action. And the action I ended up choosing in the end was one that was actually in alignment with my signature of success. Having a successful relationship, having a beautiful interaction with my husband in that morning. That really actually did feel like success. And then the walk that I went on with the dog felt like success. And the video I recorded walking that dog felt like a success. Success. From a conscious place. Huge difference. Let me know your thoughts on this. I think this is one that we're going to dive deeper into because it's huge. The booby prize of being right. We're done with that. We're going for gold. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.